Hey, this is CJ Maurer with The Gist, and you may be familiar with our formal HubSpot strategic tutorials. Today, I just want to do something off the cuff because I just finished my workday and we dealt with something that I know is a big deal to a lot of people, especially if you use orders. Here's the deal. You may be familiar with the newish object in HubSpot, orders. Especially if you're in e-commerce, you're familiar with this. And it's a little bit primitive. It's improving rapidly, but it's not as robust as a typical core object like deals. And you know this if you have recently integrated HubSpot with an e-commerce platform such as Shopify or BigCommerce, where HubSpot is now forcing you to sync your orders from your core software to orders. It used to be deals. The problem is that orders aren't as flexible or customizable as deals are. So here's a scenario. Many of you, especially in B2B e-commerce, want to be able to track your orders by company, right? So when your orders are created through a sync, they automatically associate the contact to the order, but not the company. But maybe you want to analyze all of the orders placed by anybody within your client companies, by total, by type, by recency, and there's no way to automatically associate that. So I'm going to explain the problem and show you what we did to solve it. Let me share my screen. I'm just doing this through Zoom. This is very impromptu. Okay, so if you're a HubSpot tinkerer, what you're probably expecting to do is, oh, I just know that I can go into workflows and create an action for create associations. So I'll create it from the company and I'll associate it with the, oh, wait a minute, there's no order. I can't associate it with order. And if you try to make this an order-based workflow, then this create association action won't be available to you at all. It is removed from the options in your workflow actions if this is a order-based workflow, where this is obviously, in this example, a company-based workflow. And that's because if you go to order settings, you get pipelines, right? You get record customization. But wait a minute, where are the associations? I can't customize that. If I go over to companies, I'm looking for this association tab where I can make sure that I can allow orders to associate with companies. Maybe that's the blockage. No, HubSpot won't allow it, right? Even if it was a custom object, right? Like if I want to create custom objects, you can create them and program them to associate with other objects, not in orders. It is literally less flexible than a custom object. But nonetheless, you have a pipeline, right? And if you click into one of these orders, they're going to look the same way. Obviously, we're a marketing and growth agency, not an e-commerce company, so we don't use orders. So none of this is customized. But when I first created this, I only associate it with Matt Riley, right? But then we found a way to do this because it's not in default workflows or default object settings. So what do? We created an order-based workflow that uses a custom coded workflow action. And this is available with Operations Hub Professional or Enterprise. So data ops, custom code, right? So we created a custom code. And I personally have people on my team that I could have asked them to do this, but I wanted to run a test. I'm not a developer. Let me see if I can figure it out. So I used ChatGPT. I explained the scenario and it generated some code. And the code didn't work at first. So I fed that back to ChatGPT and we figured out how to troubleshoot that. I won't go through all the details. What this did involve, though, was me creating a private app, right? Because you got to select a language, you make a description, and then you need to have a secret. So we actually created our own private app. And with that app, we generate an access token, which is used in the custom code itself. Long story short, we made it work. So now when I go to my orders, this automatically associates. And if you don't believe me, I'll give you an example. Let's create an order. Test 3, order pipeline. I'm going to associate it with the record. we'll do whoops, Matthew, and I'll create this order. And here it is. Matthew Parker at the Gist. I wonder if this is working. Well, let me go in here. Let's view action logs. Don't see it yet. Let me hit refresh. Oop, test order 3. Okay, let me go back here. Let's hit refresh. Let's see if the Gist is associated. Boom, the Gist. Right here. So now this is going to run all the time. Should see another API call here. Yep. And there it is. That simple. So this is, to me, really exciting. One, it's not just for all the companies that have an e-commerce component and need to automatically associate companies with orders. That by itself is huge. But think about this, right? Think about what you can do even if you're a non-developer. Now, you should not go ahead and create private apps without like your IT team or higher ups knowing. So this is not an endorsement to go rogue and cause some problems within your company's infrastructure. But it is exciting when you think about what is possible with HubSpot. So if you want to do this, maybe start by asking somebody on your team that knows how to do it. If you're the only person on your team that can do this, use ChatGPT, figure it out, build, test, revise, and then what I think is really exciting, start to come up with other ideas of how you can automate data integrity issues and other things that you can do to make your CRM more automated and more streamlined. This is really exciting. A lot of people don't think that this is possible with HubSpot, right? HubSpot has come a long way. Yes, it is a great CRM for the SMB market, right? But these are things that a lot of people would assume was only available like going up market enterprise level CRMs. HubSpot's really becoming powerful and flexible and customized. So I hope this was helpful. Bye.